cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And his first pass is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
And he's going to have a Browns first down as he gets this up past the 30. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
A run for Nick Chubb, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. Mayfield looks to throw. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Now Dustin Colquitt, the all-time punting leader for the Chiefs, on to kick for Pittsburgh. Back deep, Ray McLeod. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Ben's throw complete there to Johnson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. you can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
On fourth down, the rookie Presley Harvin on to punt for the Steelers, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On second and very short, Mayfield. And his throw here is incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. That's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Mayfield. And he'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Here's 2nd and 10. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. He gets it complete to Harris. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down now. It's Harris, and same result. He's going to take this just to the line of scrimmage before running into a brick wall. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Roethlisberger will throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This one from 35 yards away. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Mayfield to throw it. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Alex Highsmith. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass.
Under pressure, they got him again. T.J. Watt, his 2nd sack of the night. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down. After one on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. And the Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now Roethlisberger to throw. It's brought in by Harris. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Browns set to take over. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing, Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Mayfield's throw into the hands of Hooper, and he'll be stopped right at midfield.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Mayfield on play action. And he'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield. He's got a man, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big play that time through the air. 39 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Cameron Sutton. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll get this down only to the 18. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Browns on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. To throw, Mayfield. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. T.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
But Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So if you like field goals, you've come to the right spot. We've had 3 so far.
Well, this is a football game, right?
It is.
You like that one, huh? You like where I went with that? How about that one?
I like it.
Okay, but hey, let's face it. In this game right now, both defenses have responded well. They're trying to hold the line on this. You just wonder if anyone can break through with a touchdown and put some pressure on their opposition.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. Ray McLeod to return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game. Or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They hand this off to Harris. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the 1st round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year were the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game.
Running right through him. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270.
Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And that will set him up in excellent shape. First and goal at the 9-yard line. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Mayfield now. And it's caught. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. They'll try and run it in with Janovich, the fullback. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. McLeod now on the return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete.
We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Ben to throw again. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Myles Garrett bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Mayfield. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Chubb will get the call, running left. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Roethlisberger. He finds his man, complete. It's Harris. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
of the gun. It's Roethlisberger. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So we have reached halftime here with not much scoring between these two teams. 6-6 our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This fielded right at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And the Steeler offense ready to get going here in this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
On second down, this is Harris. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And I think the Browns got it. They did. And that, Charles, you'd have to think a pretty avoidable mistake.
You're exactly right about that, partner, because it all comes down to...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns have taken the lead. So, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. McLeod now on the return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Roethlisberger got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Alex Highsmith, his 2nd sack of the night. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. A throw left side, caught by the tight end flyer move. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On
on 2nd and 7. Roethlisberger got an open man. It's Washington. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Harris. And they'll get this down to the 10. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Trying to power it ahead with Watt. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Derek Watt taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. From his end zone, it's Demetric Felton. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Cleveland offense making their way out. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stops short of the 30. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And again, it's Chubb. And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Chris Wormley. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Second and 2. Now Mayfield. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Mayfield looks to throw. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
A potential field goal, if you're thinking about that, almost 55 yards from here as they try to get closer on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range. Gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jadeveon Clowney able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
He's going to air one out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
They'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield.
That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
First down, Mayfield. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw into the hands of Hooper.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Flushed out right. And some space here.
And Mayfield will have a 1st down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact there at the end of the play.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now Chubb running right, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Mayfield's throw caught by Higgins. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Okay, I'm not a fan of any routes that just, turn around defensive backs, mainly because I was a defensive back. But the comeback route is so difficult because to sell it, you're selling it like it's a deep route before you come back towards either the line of scrimmage or the sideline. And, boy, that one worked to perfection.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 44 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Throwing, Mayfield. Going out wide, finds Chubb. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Cameron Hayward in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is indeed good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. McLeod now on the return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So Big Ben and the Steelers now down 16-13. A minute 54 on the clock. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Now Roethlisberger. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took him to the limits. They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Ben. That's to Freiermuth. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big connection on that one. 32 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Counting down at 30 seconds remaining. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Here's Roethlisberger. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Down to one knee goes Mayfield, and that's all she wrote. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.